Hi everybody, Mitzi Dela Cruz, Lincoln Live. I am here today with Joy Smith, the Executive Director of FieldHaven Feline Rescue?
Center, yes. We're much more than a rescue.
Gotcha, yes, that's for sure. So can you start off, Joy, by telling us just a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, you bet. Well, I started FieldHaven in 2003, and I had my career prior to FieldHaven, and actually while I still did FieldHaven too, was in healthcare technology, and I just retired from that a couple of years ago. But I started FieldHaven in 2003, about a year after my husband and I bought this property here, and I'd always wanted to have a cat rescue, and so we became FieldHaven Feline Rescue at that time. But as the organization grew and grew, and we started offering so many more programs, the rescue part of it, while we still do, that's still a core functionality of what we do here, it is so much more that we do. So we really are, we call ourselves the center of all things cat in Lincoln, and that truly is what we are.
Yeah, I know you guys are such an amazing organization, and
thank you.
Such a great resource.
That's flattering. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell me, what is FieldHaven?
FieldHaven is the center of all things cat in Lincoln, of course, but it's grown beyond that. We have actually grown so far outside of Lincoln. We are now, we have a partnership with San Francisco SPCA and some other large organizations where we work together and collaborating on different programs. But we have a lot of different programs, especially for our own community. Our own community comes first. So Lincoln is first and foremost to us. We want to be here for the people in Lincoln. So some of our programs are, of course, adoptions. That's a given. But we have spay-neuter programs, low cost and no cost spay and neuter. We have veterinary care, in vaccine and microchip clinics. We do a pet food pantry, which is for dogs and cats, as well as the microchip and vaccine clinic. So we aren't all about just cats. We do a little bit of dogs too, and usually once or twice a year we have a dog that comes in that we will adopt out. We do a lot of TNR, so trap, neuter, release, and teaching people how to do that, how to work with cats in the community. It used to be the old-fashioned way of stray cats in the community was trapping them and taking them to the shelter where they would be euthanized.
Right.
Well, that is now, that has been proven to not work. It's just the cats just continue breeding. So now the approach is what we call community cats, where they're trapped, neutered, and released. They provide rodent control. They're rabies vaccinated, so they're not preventing or presenting public health risks. So we're teaching people about that a lot, and it's very accepted. People actually, once they understand how it works, they actually appreciate the rodent control. So and one of our big programs is what we call our cat line, which is our community cat assistance team, which are, you can kind of hear through the window people talking on the phone in there, where we get phone calls all day long, and it's in emails and Facebook messages and all the different ways that people communicate, asking questions about cats, whatever it may be. And it's not just cat lovers, it could be cat not likers. I don't want to say cat haters, because how could anybody hate cats?
Right.
But, cat not likers that have, they have questions about cats that are annoying them, and what can they do that are in their, in their backyard, or behavior.
Sure.
One of the big things, of course, we get is people that have cats that have litter box issues. So a lot of that. So we're helping people. Our goal is to keep cats out of the shelter, keeping them in their homes, or when it's necessary, helping people to rehome on their own so they don't have to come to the shelter.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it does, and because the shelter is a very stressful place for cats, so we want to try and avoid in any way that we can to have them come here.
Right.
But sometimes it is necessary, and so we do have the shelter for that. Currently, we have about 160 cats and kittens in our program. Most of them are in foster. We have over 100 kittens, so most of them are kittens, and they're in foster homes. We have some here, but most of them, we have about 40 to 50 foster homes.
Gotcha. So what services do you offer? I think you kind of talked about that a little bit, but...
Well, we're really proud of a lot of those services, especially some of the expanded things that we've done. We started this year doing the vaccine and microchip clinics on a monthly basis. down at the FieldHaven Marketplace, which is in downtown Lincoln.
Right.
And so the fourth Sunday of every month, there is usually a line out the door. And it is, it's FieldHaven Feline Center offering it, but it is usually about 90% dogs that come in.
Okay.
So that's really cool because we're helping the dogs in the community. And our pet food pantry is a new service that we started. We started it last year, but we really ramped it up this year. And so we're providing pet food to dog and cat owners in the community that need assistance. And we have different organizations that donate the food. One of our biggest donors is Walmart.
Oh, wow.
So there's about 3 to 4 Walmarts that donate their broken bags, their return food, anything that that they can't use. And the one here in Lincoln is one of our biggest donors as well for that. So they help us really stock the pet food pantry, and we actually get things for birds and other things too. So it's mostly dogs and cats, but a few other animals as well.
Sure. And I have to ask, so do you ever get, does dog food expire? Do you ever get expired?
Yes. And
does it?
Yes, it does. And pet food does expire, and
Yeah.
we actually got a huge donation of that not too long ago. That was, it was all expired, and we can use it. Actually, what we did was we advertised it for some of the people in the rural community that have pigs.
Oh, there you go.
So yeah, so we don't want to just throw it away. But,
Sure.
So we advertised that we had pig food. So we're supporting the pigs in the community too.
There you go. All things pet.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I grew up on a farm, and so I'm a farm girl by heart. So.
Oh, gotcha. So how did you identify the need for a cat rescue in our area?
We moved here in 2001, and when we moved onto our little rural lane of Daniel Drive, there's about 30 houses in this area. There was a few feral cats that were sort of bouncing around here, and I trapped them and took them up to the spay neuter clinic in Auburn and got them fixed, and so all was good. But they got to know me, and I got a call one day, said, can you help with the situation in rural Lincoln at a ranch that had a lot of feral cats, and the owners did want to TNR them, but they were physically older and couldn't do a lot of the work, so they asked if my sister and I would help. Well, we found some kittens there, a couple litters of kittens were born, so I put them in my barn, in my horse barn, to raise them with their feral moms, and when they got old enough, I had them spayed and neutered, and the feral moms went back to the barn, and then friends and relatives and friends of friends took kittens, and then I ran out of friends and friends of friends and relatives and coworkers. So I had kittens left over. They were all spayed and neutered and vaccinated, but they needed homes.
Sure.
So I went to the Lincoln Farmers Market. My sister and I went down there. We set up a table, and we called ourselves FieldHaven Feline Rescue. And all those kittens got homes that very first night, and we're like, yay, we're done. Not quite so fast, because then the phone started ringing. I hear you rescue cats. And that literally is how we started. I mean, just how we started. It was in my tack room in my barn, and it just has gone from there.
Wow.
So, people will ask me or say to me, when I win the lottery, I want to start a shelter like FieldHaven. It's like, you don't have to win the lottery.
Right.
Surround yourself with great people, and people that have a lot of energy and want to have, or like-minded, want to help animals.
Right.
And you can do anything. I mean, this is proof positive.
Yeah.
You can just dig in, roll up your sleeves, and do it and make it happen.
And you've got a lot of great volunteers that actually run this place, and they have a passion for helping animals, and that's incredible.
They're volunteers. There is no doubt about it. We can't do it without the volunteers. We have between both locations, and actually our PetSmart Adoption Center location, we have about 220 volunteers.
Oh, wow.
So, and some of them volunteer maybe just for, once in a while, and some of them are here practically every day.
Wow.
And that's always growing. So we've raised a lot of volunteers that are now off into the world, and some of them are going into veterinary medicine. Some of the junior volunteers are going into veterinary medicine. One of our junior volunteers started when she was 12, and she graduated from Lincoln High as, I think she was valedictorian or salutatorian, Simone Matecna, and she did a spay-neuter clinic in Chile last year.
Oh, wow.
So I can't tell you how proud that made me.
Yeah.
All of us. Here she was. She started here as a 12-year-old volunteering, and now she's out conquering the world doing spay neuter.
Oh, that is
And
so
it's
awesome.
like, you know, that is the biggest compliment I've ever gotten. I mean, it's just, you know, so proud of her.
Yeah, so it just grows away from you.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, wow, that's great.
And there's been other organizations that have kind of been, you know, spawned off of FieldHaven, where people want to go and start their own organization, and it's great. I love it.
I know, that is terrific. So how do you get your funding?
It's all great question. Thank you for asking that. All of our funding is from private donations. So we get no city, state, county funding at all. We have no municipal contracts. So it's all from donations, general donations from people just writing a check or dropping a donation in a donation jar. That accounts for about 50% of our actual operating budget, which our operating budget is upwards of about $500,000 a year. So
wow.
we're pretty, significant operating budget, of which a lot of that is, of course, animal care,
sure.
And veterinary care. Then we have our annual fundraiser every year that brings in about 18% of our budget.
Wow.
People think about adoption fees. They think, oh, well, I'm paying an adoption fee. That's supporting that kid. Yes, it does, but it's only about 7% of our operating budget.
Sure.
Every kitten and cat that we bring in here costs us an average of $350.
Oh, wow.
So, while some may be less and some are greatly more because they require surgery or something, that's our average. So our adoption fees are only average about $55 between, everything. So that you can see that doesn't cover the cost of the caring for him. So that has to come from our donations. And then a big part of our donations, our fundraising is our store in town.
Right.
So FieldHaven Marketplace. So anybody that donates there, donates goods to be sold, shops there, you're supporting this organization. Those dollars come back here, and every $30 you spend there spays a cat.
Wow.
Every $10 or $15 you spend microchips a cat. Every $5 you spend provides a vaccine for a cat. So we can break it down into just that, what you're doing, what your impact is,
right.
by either donating or shopping there.
Gotcha. Wow, that's incredible. So it's really a collaborative effort.
It is.
The whole
It is.
town.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
Yeah. Great. That's awesome. So, do you have any upcoming events or fundraise, anything that people should be aware of?
Well, we're always fundraising.
Okay.
So that never stops.
Yeah.
Our large annual fundraiser every year is in June, and that's
okay.
Classics, Cats, and Cabernet, and that is, like as I said, that brings in about 18% of our operating budget. So we're always looking for, and actually we will be starting to look for sponsors and donations, probably starting in October, November. We'll start ramping up for the 2018 version. And of course, we thought there was going to be no cars coming in here, so
that's okay.
That's all right.
Life.
There's always things going on around here.
Right.
One of our very active volunteers, Mike, is here to help out for the day. So we are opening a new facility in October.
Oh, really?
It's in the back there. It's called the Second Chance Ranch.
Wow.
And really, I can't tell you how excited I am about that, because it is going to be really focused on cats that have no place else to go.
Gotcha.
The unadoptables, the quote-unquote unadoptables. So the feral cats, the cats that have major behavior problems. They're the ones that are euthanized at municipal shelters, and typically, they have no place else to go.
Yeah.
So, as I said, our goal is, when we have a feral cat, is to put it back where it came from after it's been fixed. But sometimes that's not possible.
Sure.
It's a dangerous area, or for whatever reason that's not really appropriate to put them back. Those cats typically would be euthanized at the local shelters, at the municipal shelters.
Yeah.
They will come to the Second Chance Ranch, and then they are there, and they go through the interview process, and will get a job as a rodent ranger.
Oh, great.
And we also, the ranch acts as a community center for people in the community that are doing TNR, trap, neuter, release projects.
Great.
So they can borrow traps from us, they can get training from us, they can board the cats here while they trap a cat until it gets fixed or needs to be recovered. So that's going to open in late October. We're putting the finishing touches on it, and I'm very, very excited about that. And we have, of course, the upcoming holiday season is always a big fundraising time for us. And we also have adoption events. This weekend, we're having dollar days for adult cats. This time of year, everyone wants to adopt kittens. Kittens are cute. And I understand that, but the adult cats kind of just sort of linger at the shelter. They don't get adopted as much.
Right.
So we have to do promotions to try and get the adult cats adopted. And this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we're doing Dollar Day. So all adult cat adoptions will be just $1. Some of them are sponsored already, so they'll be $0.